impacting lives, building leaders all around the world. Let us keep our dreams alive, 'cause tomorrow's gonna be a better day.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Kectil World Youth Network, a podcast where we connect you with young leaders and voices from around the globe. Today we have a very special guest joining us all the way from Ukraine. Big welcome to Veronika to our podcast. Hi Veronika.
Yeah, hi. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm really happy and excited to be here. And
Same
to be
here.
honest, it's my first podcast recording. So I'm genuinely happy to share my story and have an amazing conversation with you.
Awesome. We're so happy to have you too. So, guys, Veronika is a teen entrepreneur from Ukraine, and she has built a health and technology innovation startup called HealthyHeart. And today she's here to talk about her entrepreneurial journey, her view and her world as a teen entrepreneur. And also she'll take us into the depths of technology and what you can do as a young person with all the new and exciting things that are available for us in terms of technology. And also, she's from Ukraine, and her situation and the youth who's actually building such innovative things from Ukraine needs a special shout out, and we'll talk about all of that soon. But before we go into all of that, Veronika, can you start by introducing yourself and sharing a bit about how your journey into health and technology began?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for the introduction. So, as you know, my name is Veronika, and I am 15 years old, student from Ukraine, and founder of HealthyHeart AI, a health tech startup that uses artificial intelligence to predict risks of cardiovascular diseases through simple data input. My journey into health technology started not from textbooks, but from curiosity and, I guess, empathy. Um, I have always loved solving complex problems, so I began coding at 9 and never stopped exploring how technology could actually change lives. Over time, I realized that innovation means nothing if it doesn't touch someone's heart, literally and figuratively. So I decided to build something that matters, a tool that could help people, even in small villages, understand their heart better and take action before it's too late. That's how Healthy Heart AI was born. And from a mix of technology, compassion, and the belief and that technology could save lives.
Such a heartening thing to hear, Veronica, all puns intended. But I'm so happy that you picked up on all the new trends in technology and actually turned inwards to see what can you actually solve for the humanity and what best than saving lives. I'm so happy that you picked such a problem statement for your startup. But I know that the idea for Healthy Heart came from a very personal experience in your family. So, can you tell us a little bit of that story? How it shaped your vision for the startup?
Yeah, definitely. The idea behind Healthy Heart AI wasn't born in a classroom. It was born at home. Someone in my family once faced serious heart issues, and I remember that feeling of helplessness. You're just standing there and wanting to do something, but not knowing how. That moment stayed with me. I started wondering how many people go through the same fear, not because they couldn't care, not because they don't care, but because they simply don't know what's happening inside their own body. That's when my vision started forming. I wanted to build something that could give people clarity, a simple digital um, innovation. Um, you're you matter, and you can do something about it. So for me, Healthy Heart AI is more than a startup. It's a promise that no one should lose someone they love just because early diagnosis was out of reach.
That's really special. I mean, Veronica, what I've seen is it's people usually, they see these problems, but then they decide someone else will solve it. But it's always heroic for someone to just take up, like for you to decide that at this very young age, this is something that I can solve. Maybe I can give it its all. So it's very courageous and heroic of you to actually pick up such a problem and try to solve it. And when everybody else decides that they can do something else with their life, you decided to actually solve for someone else. So kudos to you. Really, really proud of you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to hear.
So Veronica, many of our listeners will be wondering what is actually Healthy Heart. They've gotten a bit of the background. They've gotten an idea on what your technology is all about. But can you explain a little bit more about what does the platform do and how it helps to monitor or improve their heart health?
Yeah, for sure. Healthy Heart AI is a digital platform that uses artificial intelligence to predict the risk of cardiovascular diseases based on simple user provided data. Things like age, gender, BMI, which is body mass index, smoking status, diabetes, also level of cholesterol, stroke, and heart attack history. But what makes it special is not just the technology, it's the simplicity. You don't need to be a doctor or have access to expensive equipment. You just open the site, enter your data, and the system gives you a clear insight. Your personal heart risk score behind the numbers is something deeper, awareness, a special awareness, because prevention starts not in hospitals but in moments of understanding. I built Healthy Heart AI to be like a quiet friend that reminds you, like, hey, buddy, your health is speaking. Maybe you should listen to your heart.
That's so cute. So, I mean, what makes it different from other apps out there? There are plenty of health based, apps and also heart based apps. So, what makes it your Healthy Heart different from other apps? And is there any particular feature or any different approach that you take which makes it stand out from the rest of them?
So yeah, I would love to answer this question. So Healthy Heart was created with one simple goal, to make health screening easy for everyone. In our app, user only needs to enter a few basic indicators that almost everyone knows about themselves, such as age, BMI, smoking status, gender, plus some other medical data. It doesn't feel complicated or intimidating. And even if someone doesn't know a certain parameter, they can simply tick the I don't know box. And the system will still calculate the result using adaptive prediction. This makes the progress and process accessible to anyone. The no medical degree or technical knowledge required. My idea was to remove the fear and complexity from preventive care so that people can understand their heart just in a few clicks.
That's so sweet. So you're essentially making it as simple and intuitive as possible, right? So for anyone who's facing any health issues, it is going to be very simple to use it, and a fear or judgment is not going to stop them from having a healthy heart, right?
Yeah, for sure. Some people afraid of geographical, some, some I don't know, yeah, geographical, maybe psychological aspects and barriers, and they just don't go on regular appointments and checkups. So we're trying to reduce this problem.
Speaking of that, now what is the kind of impact do you hope to see, or are you already seeing with Healthy Heart in like both your community as well as globally? What are some of the things that you've seen already?
Yeah. So when I think about impact, I don't picture numbers or downloads. I imagine moments. For example, a grandmother in small Ukrainian town checking her heart health on her phone for the first time. A teenager realizing that taking care of your own body is just another form of self-respect. A community where prevention becomes normal, not rare. So that's the impacts I dream of. Healthy Heart AI was never meant to say just to stay just a local project. So it's my way to my way of proving that innovation doesn't have to come from Silicon Valley to change lives. It can come from 15-year-old girl from Ukraine who believes that compassion can scale just as fast as technology. So my hope is that one day our platform becomes a global tool for awareness, uh, but probably even more a symbol of empathy and intelligence belong together in the future of healthcare.
Wow, it can't get more better than this, you know. As you said, the solution can't come from anyone, even a 15-year-old in Ukraine, right? So well spoken, very well spoken, actually. So, again, now my next question would be at your age, at 15, most teens are exploring technology for school or for fun, like for games or maybe like just having fun on social media. But what made you to take that extra step to turn to a real world problem and take up a real world impact project and use technology for good, actually?
Okay, so I think every person has that one moment when curiosity turns into courage. So for me, it wasn't about grades or competitions. It was about challenges. So some people stop when something feels too hard. But to be honest, I start because it's hard. That's always been my way of thinking. If it's difficult, it's probably worth doing it. Technology became my space of tasks that to see how far can I go, how much can I build. And when I realized that my code could actually make someone's life easier or healthier, that's when I stopped being just when my skills stopped being just skills. It became my mission because for me, creating my Healthy Heart AI platform wasn't about showing that I can do. It was about discovering what's possible when you don't wait for permission to start.
Yeah, and it's not always easy, right? I mean, it's one of the most difficult things to actually start solving some problem for the world. And It's not as easy as what people would say. Like, you just need to have an idea, you just need to solve a problem. I totally understand where you come from. So, what has it been like building a high tech health technology solution as a young entrepreneur? Like, what are the most exciting parts of this, and what are some of the toughest challenges? I think, I think this question comes from me as an entrepreneur who started out my journey when I was in my 20s. But I also know that the listeners here are quite young, and they probably are all trying to decide whether or not they can take that first step into entrepreneurship. So that's the space where this question comes from, for them to understand how exciting it is, as well as what are some of the toughest part of building in health, or building a technology solution as a young entrepreneur.
So, building HealthyHeart AI as a young entrepreneur has been both thrilling and super challenging. The main challenge was finding reliable data. Medical data is sometimes inconsistent and often inaccessible. So I spent weeks digging through the researches, reports, and open sources, and finally used data from the World Health Organization to train the AI model. Even with the data in hand, the process was not easy. Transforming um, raw information into a system that actually predicts heart risks accurately required patience, testing, and problem solving at literally every step. Even with that data in hand, the process was not easy. Transforming raw information into systems that actually predicts heart risks accurately required a lot of patience, training, and problem solving at every step. I've always been the kind of person who starts because it's hard, not despite it. And the mindset kept me going through the setbacks and long nights of coding and analyzing. Every difficulty was also an opportunity to learn, to push my limits, and to create something really, really meaningful.
Beautiful and very well said, Nika. No worries. So that's amazing. You're using artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies in your startup, right, Veronica? So, can you help the listeners understand artificial intelligence, or AI, in very simple terms? So, what is it? How it works? And how can you make people use it to change the world like you're doing right now?
Yeah, for sure. Let's start with the basics. When people say artificial intelligence or AI, they often imagine something mysterious, like a machine that thinks. But AI doesn't think like a human, it predicts. Imagine reading thousands of books and remembering every single sentence. It would be kind of impossible for a normal person. If someone gives you a half phrase, you instantly know what words might come next. That's what AI does. It learns from a numerous amounts of data and predicts the most likely next step. In my project, Healthy Heart AI, this prediction means something very real. It takes your health data like age, blood pressure, plus other medical data, and calculates the probability of the heart condition in the future. it doesn't replace doctors, but it gives people information early enough to make a change. And that's the beauty of AI. It's not about replacing humans. It's about helping and what AI and how AI can help us do things. Young people like me and probably as our listeners can use it to solve problems in health, climate, or education. Not because they have money or labs, but because AI is now accessible and you can just use it from your laptop out of curiosity.
That's so cool. So you're essentially saying don't work against the technology or don't work, like, don't be afraid of technology, but work along with it, right? Use it well, work along with it so that even if you find some opportunity somewhere, you can use technology for your own benefit, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Such a good thought, really. I mean, like that is, it comes from a space where many people believe that their jobs are going to be taken by AI, that they're going to be like, everything is going to be done by AI and all the new technologies, that I don't have anything as a human being to do or nothing to look forward to. But that's not the case. You know, what I've seen is even when many jobs are going to be replaced, but many new jobs are going to be created. It's all up to us to skill up and know how to make technology work for us, right?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely agree. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You're totally right.
So maybe Veronica, you are the right person to tell us about some tools to learn these technologies and easily code using it too. I mean, you've already done it, you're already doing it, and maybe you can help the listeners understand more about that too. Like, for anyone starting out, what are some of the tools or platforms that you would recommend?
Yeah, for sure. When I started, I didn't have a lab or a team. I had curiosity, Wi-Fi, and that's enough. Just trust me. You don't need to start with something complicated. Just open I don't know, any beginner course like Introduction to Programming with, I don't know, on Python, and take the first step. Learn one simple concept, then try it, break it, and fix it. And all over again. That's how you grow by experimenting. And please don't use ChatGPT to write code for you. Even even when it feels really hard, you need to learn to do it yourself because you can't build a house without any foundation. Once you understand more, start creating something of your own. It doesn't have to be perfect, just yours. That's how real innovators are born. Not by some shortcuts or using ChatGPT, but by curiosity, patience, and a lot of persistence. One small line of code at a time.
That's so cool. Okay, guys, you heard it from her. One small code at a time, one step at a time. No shortcuts, but use technology to build that foundation and grow from there. That's really the way to go. So, if every high school had to include an entrepreneurial experience for students as part of their curriculum, what do you, Veronica, what do you think all teens would learn about themselves by trying to build something from scratch? Now, why I ask this question is because you did this on your own, but many young people, many students usually rely on their schools to teach them something, to, introduce them to new things. Not everyone are as innovative or entrepreneurial as you are. So, when you started out on your entrepreneurial journey as while you are a school student, you did learn something new about yourself, right? So if it was introduced as part of school curriculum, what would everyone learn about themselves? What is your view on that?
Okay, so I believe that if every teenager had to build something from scratch, something as a project or even idea, they would realize that success isn't about talent, it's about discipline. Entrepreneurship isn't just about business. It's about learning to see opportunities where others see just obstacles. When he creates from nothing, you learn how to bring structure to chaos, to find some parallels at uncertainty. And then you understand that success can be designed. Uh, as I always say, you need to make success easier than failure by designing your environment. Because if you build an environment where the right actions become natural rather than just exceptional, success becomes a habit. That's what entrepreneurship truly teaches. Builds a system and it will build you and your character.
That's amazing. That's such a good thought to actually have. So, okay, on that note, what are some tips that you can give on how someone can start to work on an idea and build an organization quickly? So, even for those who might not see themselves as a founder, or like, okay, even if someone feels that no, I might not be an entrepreneurial material, but how can they start from scratch nevertheless?
Yeah, so honestly, starting doesn't require a title or some fancy label. It requires your curiosity, courage, and especially consistency. The first steps is to act on a small idea when even if it feels insignificant. Break it down. What problem do you want to solve? Who and how does it affect? Then take one small action every day. Research, talk to people, test, fail, and repeat all over again. That's how organization grow. From repeated micro actions that compound over time. Remember that you don't need to see yourself as a founder to build impact. You need to start before you're ready. I have learned that leadership begins with doing, not naming, and every small effort builds momentum and creating a wave that can transform an idea into something incredible.
And as a lady, a girl building in technology, you play a big role in encouraging more young women to take up science, coding, and innovation. So, have you thought about how you will inspire more girls to follow your path? Any advice you can give them?
You know, I want to tell you a story. All started with little girl walking into her first programming club. At first, she wasn't even accepted. The teacher said it was not interesting for girls, but her parents insisted and she got her chance. Suddenly, she was in a group with only boys, and everyone around her questioned her choice. Friends said that she could be anything, a doctor, a model, a teacher. Yet she chose the path that screamed for a boys. Not only did she complete the program successfully, she became the best. That was just the beginning. She continued through a 5-year program at the Junior Computer Academy and entered the top 1% of her cohort. Later, she created a project recognized globally among over 1,000 participants for its innovation, leadership, and transformative solution to the world's most persisting challenges. Now she wants every girl to know you are not defined by who expects you to be or by some old stereotypes. You have the power to break the mold and write your own story. And yes, I am that girl. So let this inspire all girls to share that template and write their own story.
Woohoo! Yay! Way to go for that girl called Veronika Konyk.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, when you're building something as a teenager, you're not just shaping a startup, you're also shaping your own generation to see how to see leadership. Like you're molding how they see leadership, right? So,
Mhm.
what does leadership look like to you as a 15 or 16-year-old? What does that word leadership mean to you at this age?
Okay, so at 15, being a leader means bringing a group of people together around one goal and helping each member reveal their best qualities. True leaders don't just manage, they inspire. Your idea has no value if it exists only on a paper, if no one knows about it and no one benefits from it. That's why leadership is about showing, proving, and of course, demonstrating why an idea deserves to exist. It's about turning vision into reality step by step, person by person. Leadership is some uh, deep thoughts and action, not just words. Uh, and at my age, I'm learning that the courage to act is the most powerful skill we can develop. I guess at all ages.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, everyone's learning at every stage, right? Every age, every stage. We're always learning something new. I heard somewhere, like you are taking baby steps anytime you are doing something new. You don't really necessarily have to be a baby to take up baby steps. You do it at 30, you do it at 40, you do it at 60 if you're learning something new. So I think what you said is right. Taking that first step, going ahead, that's all it takes. So good thought. And on that note, I also would like to know, how do you balance school life and being a founder of a startup? That's, your startup is already making such a huge difference and there's impact that you're doing, right? But at the same time, you have your school life, you have your life as a teenager. How do you balance all of
So let's say I have a pretty tight schedule. You might not imagine it, but the same girl from the story, the one who walked into programming class and proved everyone wrong, is also juggling school life and running a startup. Um, at 15, life doesn't slow down just because you have big ideas. Every morning starts with a choice. Do I snooze or do I show up fully for myself, for my team, and for the people who might benefit from what we create? I've learned that to treat time like a tool, not an enemy. Yeah, I break tasks into pieces. I plan and prioritize, but I also leave some space for joy and laughter. Discipline fills the gaps where motivation fades, and some days are so exhausting, but every day reminds me that I am building my future brick by brick, code by code. And when I look back, I see that balance isn't about perfect schedules. It's more about being fully present in every role you take on you, while never losing some parts of yourself and some joy from life.
You've inspired me too to reevaluate my own life and my own days. Sometimes even I feel like time is an enemy, but I think I'm going to change that thought and think the way that you have prescribed right now.
Thank you so much. It's so sweet.
So we have a Kectil board member from Ukraine, Alexandra. She's a very dear friend. She's my sister. So from Alexandra, we got to know a lot about the situation in Ukraine for the past years, and she had actually shown light into the situation in Ukraine about the youth, their life, and a lot of information about the on-ground situation through our past podcasts, as well as through a lot of other events and conferences that Kectil has been hosting. So. We have heard that from Alexandra, multiple things. One is about the war situation, but also about the resilience of youth and also innovativeness of the country and people who are in the country. And you are a perfect example of what Alexandra has been describing about the youth who's resilient, who's innovative, and who's doing things no matter what. And while we are recording this podcast, I also know that Kiev, where you're from, has had a very fresh attack from drone attacks from Russia, and it's a very grim situation that you're facing every single day. And here you are sitting with me and talking about your innovative innovations and like literally inspiring people and youth across the world. But we want to know from you, uh, you know how are you finding the encouragement to build something so meaningful in spite the situation in your country?
So, I want to say that it is absolutely true what you have described, because today at night I woke up because it was really loud. By saying really loud, I mean it was an air raid alert, and I have heard um, a lot of noise, such as drones and such as some explosions. So it is scary, and today we haven't had um, electricity for around 9 to 10 hours, and it is really tough. But no matter what, you need to prove that you will survive and you will make the best, and you will help the world to be more safer and more uh, uh, I don't really know how to say that, but you will be really maybe you will inspire someone. And I want the world to see Ukraine not only through the prism of war, but also as country filled with creativity, inspiration, and hope. Yeah, for sure. Even in the middle of uncertainty, I find encouragement in the people around me, in their resilience and determination.
And so much power to you, Veronica. And I know, I mean, you just shared with me, right? You had like a 9-hour blackout in your, city just before we started this podcast. So you're here, you're showing up in spite of everything. And I don't think it takes like it's not a small task to do it. It takes immense amount of courage, and it's just not you. It's like the entire youth population of your country, who's inside the country, who's outside the country, who's praying for the country. So I mean, it's huge applause to all of you. And don't worry, we do not just look at Ukraine from the war lens, but all of us know about the youth, the resilience of the youth, the innovativeness of the youth. um, Ukraine has been a hub for learning, for innovation, and even from Alexandra, I've got to know that a lot of young people, whenever they are faced with a situation, they always try to see how can they turn around the situation and
Yeah.
create
Yeah.
innovative solutions out of whatever they are facing. So I've heard that that youth in
Yeah.
Ukraine are very innovative. They
Actually,
yeah.
can I follow up to that, to your
Yes.
thoughts?
Yeah.
So the war doesn't stop us from dreaming and building something and some our new innovations. The country is motivates me uh to do something and to act faster, to make sure that the world sees not only the struggles but also the strengths and potential and the heart of my country. And I'm really proud to be a Ukrainian.
And that's so right. That's so right, dear. And okay, now on that note, is there any like any ecosystem or government or education institutions that you wish was better or different? I know that already there are a lot of systems that are creating a space for innovators like you to grow, and that is the reason why you are able to grow, right? But can you let us know how is it in your country? What are some of the facilities available? And what are the best things? What are the things that needs to change a bit? Any insight into what is the ecosystem provided for you as an entrepreneur to grow in Ukraine?
Okay, so I believe that change doesn't come from someday later. It starts with us, with those who are not afraid to take responsibility for the future. Every person has the talent not just to imagine, but also to create. And that is exactly what Ukrainians are doing. Joy or misfortune, people adapt to everything. For example, in school, during air raid alarms, we spent we descend to the bomb shelter and continue learning. We even have classrooms located directly in the shelter. So the motivation to pursue life grows even stronger when you are under bombardment. Um, so courage and determination every day makes you realize that action matters more than hesitation. Ukrainians are strong and in spirit and in will, and because of that, we can achieve anything. Despite challenges, people here are building, creating innovations, and shaping solutions that makes a real difference.
A big heart from me to you, Veronica. Such a nice set of words that you've told us, and all our heart goes out to you, and we wish that it like the situation is over very quickly, and all the innovativeness and all the energy that you and your generation carries really gets that space. And it shouldn't be like in spite of the war. It should be like you have all the resources and everything at your disposal, and you should be flourishing.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support.
So, Veronica, let's fast forward 10 years. What do you imagine yourself doing at 25? Will you be still building the health tech startup, or would you be going into something completely new by then?
Okay, so probably at 25, I see myself leading teams as that build technologies, not for recognition or profit, but as tools that truly serve people, making day life easier, safer, and more meaningful. I want to create solutions that empower communities, uh, simplify challenges, and help people focus on what truly matters without letting technology replace their authenticity.
Mhm.
I imagine systems that uh, and that inspires and make easier all human needs. My
Yeah.
dream isn't about some fame, it's more about shaping the world where technology creates a real impact. That's where I'll be asking the big questions and taking risks and building a future that matters.
Wow. And who inspires you, my dear, in this health tech or innovation space? And what have you learned from them?
One person who really inspires me is Katherine Jones, an American mathematician. Uh, she's whose calculations helped NASA send humans to space. She worked at a time when women were barely allowed in science. Yet she proved her value with persistence and determination. She was asked 5 times not to put her name on her calculations. And you wouldn't guess, but each time she simply made a new copy and signed it with her own name anyway. Her determination shows me that true strength isn't in loud words, but in quietly doing what's right even when others doubt you. In my life, people have told me that programming or technology aren't for girls. So Catherine John's story reminds me it's not about asking permission, it's about acting. That starts with what's hard, not what's easy. Her discipline and her belief in herself taught me that real impact comes from persistence and confidence, from proving your worth in every line of code, every project, and every moment. Whenever I face challenges, I remember her. She reprinted her calculation numerous times and signed them all over again and stood proud because it was her work.
Wow. Wow. That if that is not resilience personified, I don't know who is. Such a good, yeah, that's a big role model, like a wonderful role model to have in your mind. And as you said, whenever you are in doubt, you think about her, and you have the courage and energy to march on and go ahead, right?
Yeah, definitely. She was really amazing and she have had a really good and strong character.
Awesome. And I'm pretty sure, sometime into the future, there would be another girl sitting in another podcast and telling us that her role model is someone called Veronika Konyk from Ukraine. I wish that.
Oh, thank you so much.
So, what advice would you give to young innovators who want to use technology to solve real problems in their communities?
the best advice I can give is just start. The hardest thing you ever do, but it's also the step that unlocks everything else. Don't wait until you feel ready or think you are learned enough. You never will. Start is messy, start is small, but it's already a start. And as soon as you do, ask for feedback. Not later, not when your project looks perfect, but right away. Even every comment, every suggestion will save you weeks of mistakes and accelerate your growth. Innovation isn't born from comfort. It grows from curiosity and your determination and willingness to listen, to improve, and try again.
Wow. Start messy, start small, but start nevertheless. I think this is going to be a motto even I'm going to take into my life.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually really enjoy this phrase because anyone could think that I need to be the best version of myself, but how if you haven't started and have never tried? If yeah, confidence grows from the moment you doing it 100 times, and this way you just trying to uh be a professional. You become a professional when you start being really good at something.
Yeah, we need to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Awesome. All good conversations have to come to an end sometime. And here we are, the last question. So, finally, Veronika, what message would you like to share with young girls and teenagers and boys all around the world who want to use technology for good but don't know where to begin?
So first, absorb information like a sponge. uh, read, watch, listen, and collect as much as you can. Learn broadly technical skills, design, ethics, and human problems you want to solve. At the same time, pay attention to small details, the micro skills that make a big difference. How you hold your hands during the talk, where you focus your eyes, the rhythm of your sentences, which words you stress, and where you pause. Don't just copy, practice deliberately. Try to use what you learn, not only repeat. Uh, Break big skills into tiny moves and practice them until you feel natural. Record yourself, ask people for honest feedback, and yeah, it looks easy on the surface, but when you combine many small skills together, your main processor will feel overwhelmed and overloaded. That's normal. So just keep going, because that exact feeling when your brain stretches, when you're learning faster than you can process, uh, that's what it means to be alive. Uh, it's the feeling you should live for. Growth is the core sign of life. We learned it back in our biology classes. So keep growing even when it's uncomfortable. That's how you know you're evolving.
Wow.
Finally, believe you belong. Curiosity, discipline, and of course, kindness matters more than being an expert. And if you keep learning, practicing those tiny details and sharing your work, you will not only find where you belong, but you will build the path as you walk it.
Awesome. Really, more power to you, young girl. I mean, I'm really, really proud of what you're doing, the technology that you're building in, the so impact that you're creating, but also for that heart that you have, the energy that you have to just start and to just give it a try and to do your best and to show up every day. I mean, I'm really, really proud of how you're doing it, Veronica.
Thank you so much. It's actually so nice to hear something like that from really experienced speakers, and yeah, it's an honor for me, to be honest. Yeah.
Honor for me too to take your first podcast as a host. Big cheers to Veronica and big hugs from me. So, this has been such an amazing conversation. I really enjoyed each and every moment of it. And I'm pretty sure our listeners have also picked up a lot of, really insightful tips from you. And they must have learned a lot of new things already, not just about technology, but about entrepreneurship, about managing time, about, resilience, about a new role model that they can also look up to, and many, many things, many more. So, thank you so much for sharing your experience and perspectives with us today, Veronica. It is not a simple task to, actually do such a lot of things at such a young age, but you make it seem quite easy. And we are so proud of you for doing that. And it's very crucial for young people around the world to hear inspiring stories and voices like yours. And as I said, they should very well understand that every one of us are living in different circumstances. And if we can try to blame our circumstance for our lack of action, we'll never go anywhere. But people like you have stepped out of those circumstances. You're still living in those circumstances, but still innovating and moving ahead, forging ahead. And it's voices like you who inspire and give us hope for tomorrow. So we wish you all the very best, Veronica.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's actually a great honor to to record this podcast, and I'm really glad that we did that. And yeah, it was amazing. Thank you so much. You're amazing host, and yeah, I hope our listeners will enjoy it.
Thank you, Nika. Thank you so much. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in to Kectil World Youth Network podcast. We come again with other inspiring stories and news from around the world. Bye bye.